He has Gadok, Teague, and Either Sworn Canonist, as well as 2 Envelop, as well as an additional Spell Pierce. That's a rough one for Jonathan to try and fight through. It's going to be very close. It's going to be tough for. I don't see Jonathan being able to fight through all the hate. In addition, Vendilion Click is a nightmare card for High Tide, so I'm going to pick the 8 seed in a slight upset there. The next matchup we have is Kendall Guthrie and William Bueller. Kendall Guthrie is on Rug Delver, and William was the Reanimator player that we were searching for the name for, that we hadn't realized who it was. He was the one that got paired up against Caleb Durward with the Rest in Peace deck. In that matchup, actually, he hardcast a Griselbrand on turn 10 with his 8 lands and started beating down with it before Caleb was able to remove it from his path with a Caracas. Kendall Guthrie has a fairly stock-looking Rug Delver list. He has a couple of singletons that are a little bit interesting, including a Sylvan Library, which should be able to help him in this relatively slow matchup. William Bueller does have a main deck Sphinx of the Steel Wind as one of his reanimation targets, so it's going to be a little bit tougher for Kendall to come back from that. I'm going to go with William in this matchup. I think that Reanimator, it's a close matchup, but I think that it's a slight favorite. He also has the Show and Tell package out of the sideboard to be able to not have to use the graveyard that can get dealt with any number of sideboard spells. So I'm going to go with the Reanimator player for that one. The next round, or the next matchup we have, is Ben Robinson and Justin Uppel. Justin Uppel completing the back-to-back in top 8s this weekend. He is on Stoneblade, and Ben Robinson is on Rug Delver as well. This is a very close matchup for both decks. Both decks like to be about 50% against the field and use the play skill of the player to garner advantage. Justin, I think, probably has the slight edge there as a slightly, I don't know very much about Ben, so I am sorry if I've insulted you a little bit, but I know Justin. I've seen him play before. He's a very strong player. He is on the draw, but I'm going to give a slight edge to Justin Uppel in that one and pick him for that one. The match you're going to get on camera, folks, is going to be Josh Hendricks, who's the number 2 overall seed. We saw him yesterday with the Rug Soulbond deck. He also has a quite interesting list designed by Caleb Durward. We're going to call it Deathrite Ale. It's a black-white, similar to Dead Guy Ale deck that leans on Deathrite Shaman quite heavily to sort of mop up all the holes that it has in other matchups. It has 3 main deck Deathrite Shaman, also has Hero of Bladehold, Aven Mind Sensor, so it has a little bit of Team Italia mixed into it. He is up against the deck's designer, Caleb Durward, who is on the Rest in Peace Miracles deck. We'd seen this deck twice on camera, once with Caleb and once with Mr. Stowe, I believe. And so he's got the Helm of Obedience, Energy Field, Rest in Peace, in addition to all of the Miracles. I'm going to give the edge to Caleb here. Miracles tends to have a good matchup against 4-drop creatures that don't do anything the turn they come into play, like Hero of Bladehold. So I'm going to give a slight edge to Caleb here. But we're going to find out. That's the match you guys are going to see here at Star City Games St. Louis. We're going to toss it over to the booth with Matthias and Zach.